If you haven't already seen Melanie Rasband's video up on YouTube, you can go check it out. Basically, she talks about how she came in late to a meeting. She was going to pick a seat, like just close to where she was. She didn't want to interrupt the meeting or anything. But President or Elder Nelson was right up front and pointed to a seat kind of at the front that he wanted her to sit in. And she was like, no, I'm going to sit right here. Because again, she didn't want to disrupt the meeting. He insisted and kept pointing, and so she sheepishly walked up and took the seat. After the meeting, she says she bolted to go talk to him and ask for his forgiveness for not listening right away, for not obeying right away. He smiled and forgave her and said, "Thank you for being obedient." Essentially, she apologized for using her own judgment-making skills. She looked around the room. She had reasons for where she was going to pick where to sit, and she made a call, and she apologized to him later for thinking things through for herself and making a call on her own. This is how the church infantilizes people. Church leaders punish people for using their own judgment-making skills, trying to come to decisions for themselves, and reward them when they show really good obedience. They say obedience is a virtue in and of itself. Just be obedient to us and you'll be praised for it, you'll be rewarded for it. In terms of developmental psychology, newborns and toddlers, they start out with zero ability to make decisions for themselves. They have zero executive functioning skills, zero ability to think critically about something, to decide what would be the best outcome, thinking things through, what are going to be the consequences of this, how much time is this going to take, will I be hurting anybody or myself, will I like the result? All of those things require these massive skills that we develop over time. These things don't just happen magically because we hit a certain age. These are judgment-making skills, executive functioning skills that develop very slowly, very gradually over time. And so if we put our kids in environments where those skills are prioritized and we encourage them to safely practice using those skills over and over and over, then by the time they leave our houses and are adults, they'll be so much better at being able to make decisions in a really healthy way. Conversely, when a person is constantly in an environment where obedience is prioritized and critical free thought is really put low on priority list, then they don't get to develop those skills as well. Best case scenario, they grow up and they have maybe some self-doubt, maybe some self-esteem issues, not really sure about themselves. That's the best case scenario. Worst case scenario, they end up falling for anything that anybody who is put as an authority over them says to them, no matter how harmful it is to them or others. Obedience for the sake of obedience itself is not a virtue.